Called Shou Sui Ban, and it actually helps the wood protect itself against rot and insects, and it just keeps the wood safe. I'm not sure how it works. Maybe I'll research that so you can get an idea, but I'm doing it on all four sides. And this is going to be for the screen door, and it is just to protect the screen door from rot, because the other one that was on there, it just took a lot of water. And I will also, I don't know if I'll add a urethane to this afterwards. I'll have to research that to see if it's something that is done, or if this Shou Sui Ban, Shou Sui Ban, whatever it's called, is sufficient enough to retard against rot and damage to the screen door that I'm going to put on here. And you can see that, ironically, there is still, I don't know if you can see that bubbling up, the sap bubbles up. And you can do this in different levels of extreme. I've seen some people do the Shou Sui Ban, Shou Sui Ban, so the wood is black, and then they scrape it with a metal brush, a wire brush, to clean off the charcoal. I don't know if I want to go to that degree. I'll do more research on it and let you know what I find out.
This is a lamp that I made turned upside down. It is aged with green and a cream color paint. I cut the base at an angle because the roof was angled, and then I framed it with wood and attached it to the ceiling after I had hooked up the electric, which was hooked up to a light switch. This lamp I used in the bathroom. The only thing I did to this was spray painted it black along with the rim. The globes are pretty much the same. I did mount it to a framed piece of oak and mounted that on the wall. And again, I did hook up all the electric, which was hooked up to a switch. So many things in this cabin were gold, which I painted black, including this fan. The fan, not the paddles. The paddles we left the color of wood, which I think goes very well in this cabin. So I took this door and this door off of a cabinet that goes over the laundry machine, washer and dryer, and I put those handles on it to match everything else in the cabin. And I just painted with a satin. This stuff is the same stuff that we're using for spraying, including the fans and everything else. But anyway, I just painted these four, and they'll go in there. And they go on that cabinet right there above the laundry machine. And I also painted black on this to get rid of the gold, and spray painted these at home, and I will assemble these once they're all dry. But I couldn't take that off very easily, and that's definitely going to need a couple of coats. You can still see the gold under it. So a couple of coats on that. So I used some of this water putty. It's stuff you just mix with water, and it does become rock hard. And it kind of looks the color of blonde wood. And I mixed it up, and I put it in this crack over here. Now this crack is gonna have a piece of wood on it that comes out about 3 1/4 inches to about here, whatever, 3 1/4 inches out. And the same thing will happen on the top. And then I'll put a Shou Sui door in between this. That is coming up soon. So I caulked along that edge right in there. And it matches really well. It matches this paint perfectly. So that was good. Now I'm gonna caulk up in there. And then I'll probably go back and do some touch-up white paint there. Now I am taping off the cabinets with this plastic and hoping it'll go down and fall on the floor, so if I drop any Bondo or resin on it, it won't make a mess of my brand new floor. That wouldn't be cool. So I'll have to do it all the way around here. And put the Bondo on soon. So the next step here is to use Bondo, put it on the edges. If I see any cracks, I can fill those too, possibly this right here to make it level, because you can see it's dipping there. But the Bondo will all go on the edge, so that the plastic is going to protect the cabinets and the floor from getting damaged. I will put just a thin coat of Bondo on here after I clean that, because the stove is here and they spilled. And the top will get cleaned better also, so the resin sticks really well to it. So my next step is Bondo. By the way, I did re-caulk again in the back here. And I used gray and clear. There's a clear over there. And that tape is on the wall to hold one of those tiles in place. And that should dry clear. Be ready for Bondo tomorrow. Go on, Virginia.
Trying to unloosen this knot, and my hands are not strong enough to unloosen it. It's this thing.
That thing?
See this here?
Yeah.
That's underneath. And I'm trying to turn it like this.
And it's been on there for a zillion years,
yeah,
so it doesn't want to.
It's really hard to get off, and I just don't have
So
the
that's,
strength.
we're trying to remove that and
I
put
should probably wait for
this in
to
its
dry.
place.
It's probably still wet since I painted it. But yeah, whew. Tired.
Okay. So I redid this threshold because I just didn't like the way it looked before. And I put some of that rock hard in there, and I had to nail these guys down because they were coming up, and I will stain that because this rock hard takes the stain real nice. So that was one thing I did today. Also added some rock hard there, and I will stain that also to match the floor, and that'll be nice instead of caulk. But we'll see how it looks. If it doesn't look right, I'll just caulk over it. An example of the gray caulking that I used around several spots on the kitchen. This is the dining room area or kitchen area. This was an old RV, well, a park model, technically. And we weren't sure that these were the same size holes as traditional, but now looking at it, I think it will be a good fit for a traditional hole. Looks like about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, something like that. I also got to get a special tool to get underneath this sink and around this basin to unscrew the locks in the back. And those locks in the back look like that. There's a special tool I know you can get back there and twist it. So that's what we gotta go get. We're about to do that now. And then we're gonna replace it with that black one. Now again, I have to get a cover for this. I'm gonna spray paint it with this hammered steel or whatever it is and attach that. We also had some issues with these things sticking, so I put tape under them and tried to get them to stick, and I just think it needs to be warmer in here before they stick, so we're trying that also. Okay, these I attached today. I painted them yesterday outside and I attached them today. They are going to need some touch-ups, like right there and right there. These are pretty tricky to get in place, right here especially. I painted these in place yesterday and the day before, so they're good. So I'll take care of that tomorrow. So I created this sign for this place, and it is from a piece of pine, and it's a slab like that. That's the way the tree grew up. This is the bottom, and it grows up that way. So it's a slab off of the base. And I carved it and painted it with a urethane to make it good for exterior use. I hope you've been enjoying these little snippets of our work in progress at this cabin that we bought. Please stay tuned, subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.